Okay, so we are on spring break. It's 2020. The big thing this year seems to be the coronavirus. So as a result, a lot of my events, a lot of other people's events have actually been canceled. So actually today I was supposed to be renting out some games for Super Bit Fest, and that didn't happen. So now I just have a little bit of free time. So now I'm just kind of taking the day. It's a beautiful day, as you can kind of see. And I'm actually down here at the St. Mary's Strip right now. And I just want to check out some arcades today. So I'm going to try to visit a few here in town. The very first one that I'm going to go to is Slackers. And then just kind of see how much time I have. I still need to go back home and grill because my sister wants to do ribs. So I got to do that. But overall, yeah, there's actually some cool places down here. I haven't been down here like just walking in a while. But other than that, just try to see if I can hit up a few arcades and just see what I can do today. Just kind of randomness today. All right, so let's go check out Slackers and let's see what they have. Okay, so one of our stops that we're stopping at is a bar called Slackers. And they have a few games here, and that's like one of the things that they have. And you can see the very first one is a class of 1981 Reunion Cab, and it is LCD'd. They have a huge LCD in it. It looks like most of the games here are all actually LCD'd, with the exception, of course, of Carnival, because it has to be a light gun game, right? And then they also have a very, very small Terminator Salvation, right? But it can be on a LED, right? Because it's working on these like little pontimeters. This is a very interesting game, Mortal Kombat 2. It's a weird freaking cab. It's kind of like custom cab. I'm actually kind of curious what it's running. If it's running like Xbox or something. That's super weird, this cab. And then I'm trying to think of what this cab is, but it's definitely not an NBA Jam Extreme. It's got a big 4-player panel. It almost looks like a Data East, but it's not. I don't think it is, but it has like a rounded marquee like that. But yeah, so it's like an NBA Jam on like a 19-inch flat screen. Then we have another one of these weird like 32-inch monitors crammed into a Turtles that's like some kind of custom cab. Kind of weird. But yeah. And then just to kind of wrap things up, they do have a Deadpool, which is actually in pretty decent condition. It was fun. I was playing that for a little bit. I played WrestleMania. Sucked at that game, but still cool nonetheless. And Metallica, still need to play this one. I'm gonna play this one real quick. Man, it looks like it has scratches, like somebody like scratched it up. That's terrible. And then AC/DC, I was gonna play, but then I noticed like back here, it's like the ball's like stuck on a rubber, so it actually doesn't work. And then of course they have these big old basketball shoot 'em up games. And they have like a Jenga. And then they have that ring on a string game or whatever. They have like a little Pac-Man there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so they have 3 bars in San Antonio. And this is like the newest location, so I just wanted to come check it out. But yeah, so that's Slackers. And this is probably one of the arcades here in San Antonio that we're gonna visit. And we'll probably hit up some more. Yeah, that's gotta be the arcade board. So look at that, it even has the advertisement. I really don't see the emulation doing that as well. But yeah, we're gonna stick here for a little bit, play a couple games, have a beer, and head on to the next location. Alright, so let's play a little bit of WrestleMania. So I drained 3 balls like right at the beginning. And then I matched my last points at the end, and it gave me a free game. So I'm doing a little bit better here, but still, this just does not seem like it's my game. Now I'm on ball 3. personally, it's not my favorite game, but oh, seems like a little dark, the playfield. I guess since I'm kind of new to pinball, I'm kind of used to the newer stuff where it's tons of LEDs going on, so it's just oh, there it goes, draining again. Oh well, that's WrestleMania. Deadpool wasn't too bad. It was okay. I was gonna try Metallica and AC/DC, but yeah, it was WrestleMania. All right, so our next stop is actually at What's Brewing, and it's actually a coffee place here in San Antonio. Truth be told, I am not a coffee drinker. As you can see here, I'm drinking myself a Coca-Cola. So let's kind of just walk around here at What's Brewing and check out what machines they actually have. They actually have a few pinball machines, so let's check it out. Okay, so it looks like they have a Trident back glass. And one of the first games when you walk in is Gottlieb's Atlantis. Hopefully I get a chance to try these games. I'm kind of in a rush, just kind of bouncing around to these different places. And then a Bally Party Zone. These games actually look like they're in pretty decent condition. There's a Whitewater. Diner. They look like they have LEDs. And too bad, but Whirlwind is out of order. Surprised they're not using that out of order sign that everybody uses. Firepower back glass, Dracula. Here's a Roadshow. It's nice. Want this game at F-14 Tomcat, I think just because of Top Gun. Yeah, this place is kind of cool. Like there's another glass up there, but it's like backlit. As you can tell, like that versus that, it's kind of backlit. They have a high speed. There's also some more games in the back. There's a taxi. Pretty cool. And there's another little room back here. They have change machines. It's kind of cool. Jack's open by Gottlieb. Calls from the crib. More modern game, Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, Addams Family. Bells and Chimes. I think we saw them out here in Houston. NBA Fast Break. Fishtails. Oh, Jurassic Park. Winners announced at end of tournament. So it looks like they're having a tournament on this, maybe? Gotta tell my brother about that. This is a pro edition. World Cup Soccer. Black Hole. Stargate. Space Shuttle. Bird Shot. Then a Joker Poker. And then when I was coming into the back, I noticed that they had some other games also. So that's all for this in the front area. I'm gonna go check out the ones in the back. All right, so this is like the back area. And if you come into the back, this is like the first part you come in. You can see here that Stern has this as an official location. And they have some more games back here. Gottlieb's Target Alpha. Some older EM games. Royal Flush. Cyclone. Little Clown Topper. Deadpool again. Looks like Deadpool's in a tournament. Iron Maiden. The Shadow. Super Mario Brothers. And then lastly, Baywatch. Yeah, that is all of the pins. And yeah, you would think it's a beer brewery, but it's actually a coffee brewery. The smell of coffee is not too bad. But yeah, so that's all the pinball machines here at What's Brewing. Very, very cool concept. I like it. All right, now we gotta go see if we can make it to another location. Okay, so growing up, there was only really one arcade that I can really remember that I played when I was younger, other than like the Chuck E. Cheese and stuff, something that was a little bit more local, and that was Diversions Game Room. So they had a lot of classics, of course, when I was younger, because the classics were not classics, they were newer. But I'm just curious nowadays, 2020, do they still have those classics, or do they have all the new stuff like Aliens and whatnot? So let's go inside and take a look, see what they have. Okay, so we are here at Diversions, and one of the main things that they do is they use tokens. They don't use quarters here. This is definitely one of the games that I want. Star Wars Battle Pod, but it's like the non-projector edition, so it's like pretty cool. This actually can fit in your space, which is kind of neat. I definitely want one of those. We got a whole bunch of like artwork and stuff like that, and of course, there's the tokens. Decent prices, so the more you buy, the better deal that you get. Right, I think, right? Yeah, just making sure. So they got the super bikes linked up. Fast and the Furious Drift. I have one of these, I don't know which one. I always get confused with the different versions. Batman, so these are all like your drivers. Drivers and shooters seems to be kind of like the thing nowadays, right? A big old new freaking Halo. It's gotta be pricey. Very cool. This place is pretty packed. It's a Saturday. Walking Dead. This game looks so cool. Jurassic Park. This would be awesome with my pinball machine. Super cool. And then there's this pirate game. It's one of those kind of like pontimeter shooters. It's kind of neat. Very cool. This might be more like the Fast and Furious that I have. Basketball games, air hockey, classic Time Crisis 2, huge cab, fun game, but very big. Dance Revolution Extreme. They have drinks, tokens. These are cool. Little love tester. That's super cool. Looks like we have Tetris and a Dynamo cab. I messed up my Street Fighter. I was putting on a control panel overlay, and I totally forgot that it didn't have this part. And I couldn't figure out how to put this part on. And I was trying to cover it with the control panel, so now I need to kind of cut it and trim it and make it right. So Tetris, the Carnival, awesome game. The Guitar Hero. These guitars are so freaking heavy. If you ever lifted them, super cool. And then House of the Dead. I have one of these. Yeah, looks good. Monitors look clean. And then looks like Terminator Salvation. That's cool. Oh, there, somebody left their drink. And the Aliens, this is kind of what I thought was going to be here. I have no idea what she's doing. What are you doing?
I'm dying, apparently.
Why are you shaking the gun? House of the Dead 4, the little Uzis. Man, this is like the most class of 1981s that I've ever seen. They have the 25-inch monitors. That's 4 of them. That's kind of crazy. I like these. I made some of these for my arcade. I don't know if you can see it, but they're like drink holders. Pac-Man, Pixel Bash. It's a newer. It has like all these different games on it. Pac-and-Pal, Sky Kid, Super Pac-Man. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's using a CRT, but it's like a flat, it's like Trinitron style. Looks good though. Oh man, this is the one that I want. This is the NBA Blitz, NFL Blitz and Showtime. So this is like a sport, this is essentially a sports station. Unfortunately, I have the big Dynamo, and this is like the 4-player, 25-inch. This is the one I want just because of size. I have one of those showcase cabinets, and it's like super big. Ultra Arcade. These are fun. I have Arcade Legends, and it's pretty cool to have all the different games on there. I like the game selection on this one. Final Fight. I don't have Final Fight. I have like Street Fighter. Looks like this one has like Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, which is kind of cool. Elevator action. Oh, it has Donkey Kong. Huh. That's weird. That's kind of neat. I guess it just kind of like letterboxes it on the sides. And then you have another one. Well, it looks like another one. A few of those. Then you got the 4-player Pac-Man. And then just a bunch of Redemption. Metal Slug. One in Neo Geo. And it looks like just a bunch of Redemption stuff. It's pretty cool. And of course the Pac-Man that I won. It's cool. A Big Buck Safari. My brother loves this game. I think it's this one. I'm terrible at those games. Need for Speed Carbon. That's almost just about it. Let's see if we can swing by here. Let all the little kids go by. Looks like there's a power putt. Yeah, it looks like a CRT, but it looks like those flat, almost like Trinitron style. Big old humongous Ninja Turtles. Super cool. And last but not least, there's a Jurassic Park 3 shooter. So it looks cool. But yeah, man, this place is awesome. This is kind of like what I grew up with. A very, very neat place. Got a lot of games in a very, very small area. This kind of gives me an idea because I'm trying to do an arcade building. This kind of gives me an idea of like how much space or how many games you could fit in a space this big. It's pretty cool. All right, I think that's about it for today because I have to head back home to go barbecue some ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And yeah, I'll play a little bit of games and then head on out. All right, talk to you later. What you got it? What'd you get?
Miss Pac-Man.
Not too bad, we're winners.
Third try.
Awesome. Okay, so what did you think of those arcades that we went ahead and visited? I had never been to What's Brewing, so that one was really, really cool. I didn't expect to see that many pinballs there, so that was pretty cool. Coffee smell wasn't too bad, so it was okay. It was manageable. Just do not like the smell of coffee. Let's see, where else did we go? We went to we went to Diversions and also Slackers. So Slackers is more like a barcade, and it's just a bar. So don't think that the games are that much of a priority there. As you could tell, there was a lot of stuff LCD'd, and just the shape is just not as good as some of the arcades that I've been to, like just around the United States. But still, it's a good place to go if you don't really know like things to look for like dedicated cabinets or anything like that. It's a good place to go grab a beer and just go play some games. Definitely What's Brewing I think was like really, really cool. The people were really, really nice, and there was a couple like coin jams and whatnot, and they were willing to actually give you your money back and stuff like that. And they actually had an app that you could report if there was any issues with the game, which was really, really cool. I thought that was neat. And then of course Diversions was kind of like the I don't know, it just kind of felt like at home for me because I guess that's kind of what I grew up with was more like Diversions. And arcade was actually it was pretty neat. I mean, it had a lot of the new stuff. Didn't have a lot of classics, but the classics are getting harder and harder to maintain. So money-wise, if you're doing it as a business, it's always just a good idea, just like a car or anything like that, to try to go ahead and get the new stuff and not really mess or fiddle with the old stuff, like old Donkey Kongs and Gyruses and stuff like that. But they did have those Ultracades, and I think they had like 3 of them, and that had a lot of the classic stuff on there. So if you still had a desire to play some of that old stuff, that was definitely a way to play some of that stuff. And then also I was given the little prize there on Miss Pac-Man, so that was cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this somewhere here within the games. But I think there was something else that I think we won, like a little bear or something. I can't remember what it was. So we ended up winning 2 things. But yeah, Miss Pac-Man, cool, right? And then I actually went and I visited another arcade, but it was in what was it, like some kind of like Asian buffet or something like that. And you walk in. The reason why I'm describing it is because I was shooting video in there, and the people were really panicky about me coming in to shoot video. And they had 2 very, very large spaces, and one was the restaurant, and the other one was this large room that had, I think I counted like 28 arcade games in there. But it was a huge room, so the games were actually not very close to each other at all. But they saw me recording in there, and they were really panicky because they said that they didn't own the games. They owned the room, but they didn't own the games, and they didn't really want anybody shooting in there without any, approval or permission or whatever. So I just kind of like looked at the games, but they had, I'm trying to think what they had. They had like Mortal Kombat 2. They had a basketball game because the ceiling tiles were like hit where they were throwing the balls, and I guess the ceiling wasn't high enough. They had a lot of 90s stuff. They didn't really have any classic stuff other than like a Miss Pac-Man, but it was like, I want to say it was LCD'd or something like that. But they had like a little redemption thing where you like do tickets. So they had some redemption games, but they didn't seem like they had a lot. The guy's name I think was Peter, I think was what the girl said. But I really wanted to get a hold of him because it's just the market here is just not as large as it is in some other places, and I just like to make connections and whatnot and just try to talk to people. And it's good because if you're ever trying to get rid of a game or you want to buy a game or parts or anything like that, it's just good to network. So I've been always trying to get people to network here. And that was the other arcade that I started shooting, and I was only probably about 20% through that one. And they came and they stopped me. But the girl was real nice, and she came and she talked to me for about, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes. And after I spoke to her, she was just like, no, like you can go ahead and shoot, but I didn't feel like I should probably shoot because it seemed like she was just like, oh, okay, like I understand what you're doing, but I just didn't want to get her in trouble. So I was just like, oh, I'll just come back and do it another day or whatever, once I find out who the guy is and stuff. But I don't know, she was really nice. And it was more like, I think it was like her uncle or something that sent her. So he didn't want to talk to me, but he sent her, like, I guess just to tell me. So I didn't want to get her in trouble, so I just went ahead and just didn't shoot or whatever. And the games there were pretty, I want to say the games there were pretty rough. There was a lot of stuff wrong. I'm trying to remember. There was different things wrong with them. They were beat. Yeah, they had a House of the Dead. The guns were on the ground, like typical rough arcades when, kids come in. And that was one thing that a girl did say. She said that, because we went on a weekday, and she said on the weekend that, oh my gosh, there's like a ton of kids in there, and they're just like beating on the games, and it's like real loud. But they also had a Simpsons, and they had the correct joysticks and everything on there, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, the room was so large that the games were like really separated and really far apart. But she did say that they were going to bring in some more games, and that might make it feel like there's more in there. Because like I said, there was like around 30 games. And it did not feel like 30 games because they were so far spread apart. So I don't know, hopefully they start expanding and they bring more games in and they did, just really invest in that arcade. And that was the other thing too, is the room, I don't know if they had the AC running because it was actually kind of warm during spring break. And the room itself was a little on the warmer side. And I don't know if that was because the games were running or they just didn't have the AC on and it was just kind of filtering in from the other restaurant side. But yeah, it was pretty warm in there. But that was about it. That was all we were able to kind of hit in the one day. I've been to like Pixel Portal, which is definitely cool. I have another video on Pixel Portal if you look at my channel. I'm trying to think what else is there. There was a couple arcades that I just didn't get a chance to hit. But we just kind of ran out of time, and it was kind of the end of spring break. But it was just a little taste of some different things here in San Antonio. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you got to see some of the arcades and just kind of like what games they have and the quality, and whether it's arcade or pinball or just the type of condition a lot of the games are in. But We don't have a lot here other than the main like big box stuff like, you know, Main Event and Dave & Buster's and stuff like that. But some of the independent stuff, there's not a lot of it. So I've really been trying to help out like Mark from Pixel Portal and stuff like that to really push them to try to expand some of their stuff, because I think we really need something like that here. I know down in Corpus we had Quasars, which is about an hour away, and their arcade's pretty good, and they're always actively changing stuff out and whatnot, and the people there are real nice. But here we don't have a lot of different options other than a lot of the console stuff and whatnot. So I'm hoping Pixel Portal probably has the best chance as far as trying to expand into getting a little bit more of those classic gaming setups and stuff like that. So it'd be really cool. So if you like this, let me know, put a thumbs up, follow my channel, and yeah, hopefully we get to visit some more, and you know, have to start going back to work. I think a lot of that COVID-19 stuff is going on right now, so hopefully go back to work. If not, I don't know, we'll just kind of figure it out, and I think we're going to be heading towards like a quarantine type situation. So it may have been our last time kind of getting out and seeing some stuff around San Antonio. But hope to see you in the next video. Until then, see you later.